April 19th. What? That's the date, right? I gotta make sure. I don't even know what.
Yes, sir, okay. It is.
April 19th, 2019. I sat on my couch. No, I sat on my couch. No, I'm not brain dead. Believe me. I'm not like, you know.
I thought you were for a sec. I was like, wait, what the fuck's going on?
April 19th, 2019. I sat on my couch, bored out of my mind. I texted Eric and I said, I want to make a podcast, man. He was like, alright, bet. So I sat on my couch. I opened the party, invited him, got on the mic, spoke for about 45 minutes, and said, you know what? I'm gonna keep fucking doing this. Fast forward to now, we have nearly 50 episodes, and I cannot be more proud of myself, believe it or not. This, you know, this is really an scapegoat for me. You guys have no idea, you know. I know the channel's not nearly where I wanted it to be, but you know what? I'm not complaining. Because you know what? 30 subscribers isn't zero. Those 30 people that are subscribed clearly show me that I'm doing something right. Oops, sorry. Those 30 subscribers show me that I'm doing something right. Clearly, I'm not doing the wrong thing. So, to everyone who watches my videos consistently and to everyone who actually gives a shit about this podcast, I just want to say thank you a lot for all the support for the past year. You know, there was a time where I just wanted to quit entirely because I was getting no views and no new subscribers, and then I told myself, you know what, it was only the beginning, it's gonna get better, and it did, you know. And now with this quarantine shit, it's ironic that it took a fucking pandemic to really make me invest in the channel, but, you know, regardless, I'm happy that, you know, I've been making out so much content ever since we went into quarantine. But, just want to say, they're probably not going to listen to this. Thank you to Kevin, Elijah, Eric, Jairus, Evan, who's here with me, and anyone else who, you know, has helped me before. You know, you guys, I appreciate the shit out of you guys, even if sometimes I'm a dick. I know I'm a dick, believe me, but you know, thank you guys. Moving on, we were going to talk about Terminator, well, not me and Evan, me and Kevin were going to talk about Terminator 3, but Kevin is stupid. I'm kidding. So I made the decision that I was either going to do a review on Baby Driver for the 1 year video. I was going to review Terminator 3, give you guys a bad review. Well, not the video being bad, meaning a review of a bad movie, which I kind of just gave away how I feel about Terminator 3. Oh well. Or we were going to do this. And I figured we'd do this, being that horror is my go-to, and I'm really excited to keep going with this series. So, Black Christmas! Originals and remakes. So unfortunately, we wanted to talk about the 06 remake and the original because we've already spoken quite highly in detail of the horrific remake, but we unfortunately could not.
Like the best word we could have given that.
That's too generous. That's too generous.
It's too generous.
But you know what? We couldn't rent it because Sony is.
And we could not find the 06 remake anywhere for rent at all.
So
I didn't even see it all anywhere for like you can buy it at all.
Neither did I.
I don't know about you, but
yeah, I couldn't find it. So
and
we are going to.
I have seen the 06 remake before.
Yeah.
I do really enjoy it. It's better than the 2019 remake.
I would hope so.
How lower can you get with that? But it's not as good. Like the short part of it is it's just. It goes into more detail of
Billy.
I forgot his name already. Billy. Like how everything it's kind of weird a little bit. It's like I feel like at some point in time in the movie, the directors were just high off their asses, like, "Yo, let's just do this instead." but it's not bad. It's not bad.
We can actually, I'll let you go into the '06 remake once we start comparing them, but I want
to
to
remake quite a bit.
speak on the original, then we'll talk about the 2 remakes. I can't speak on the remake because I haven't seen it. We've only both seen the 2019 remake. So the original Black Christmas came out, 1 second.
1979.
79? No, not 79.
It was 79, I'm pretty sure.
This doesn't make sense.
It was either that or 1980.
74, good sir.
Shoot, I'm thinking of Halloween.
Yeah, you are thinking of Halloween. I was about to say, dude, Black Christmas is way older than 79. Black Christmas came out in 1974 and is regarded as the first slasher to create the slasher genre. A lot of people think it's Halloween. I never thought it was Halloween. Personally,
Yeah,
hand over heart,
Halloween.
I thought it was Psycho. I thought it was Psycho. Psycho is a slasher to me. I don't know.
You could argue that was a slasher.
Apparently, people don't think it's the first slasher. Everyone, when they say, oh, the first slasher, people just think of Black Christmas. I guess...
Well, I mean, considering how good the original was, I kind of don't... I can see why they say that.
Original
I mean, it's
what?
a really good movie.
Original what?
Original Black Christmas.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, I don't want people to start disrespecting Psycho over here. I mean, Psycho's a fucking classic. You know, but...
Oh, for sure, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Regardless, first slasher, people consider it in the horror community. And rightfully so. You know, if somebody told me, oh, I think Black Christmas is the original slasher, I mean, I tell you that I think it's Psycho, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh, you're wrong. That's like somebody saying Scream is the first slasher. But like, hey-ho! Slow your roll there, buddy. But yeah, Black Christmas was directed by Bob Clark, one of the most generic names I've ever heard in my life. You know what's funny? This is the same director who directed A Christmas Story. Look at that. That's quite hilarious, if you ask me. But yeah, Black Christmas is honestly amazing. I watched it hand over heart. I'm gonna admit it on stream. I'm gonna pause the game so you can hear me nice and clearly. This was the first time I watched the 1974 Black Christmas. Yeah, I know. Hold the pitchforks, hold the torches, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's not just any book, wise ass.
But
it belonged to T.E. Lawrence.
With that said, I fucking love this movie so much. Oh my god. This movie's incredible. It is honestly incredible. From the kills, which they're vague, don't get me wrong, but it's the 70s. I didn't expect them to do anything crazy. You know, look at Halloween. The killer, oh my god, the killer is fucking amazing.
Golden Hind. Could it be a model?
The Billy, who, I mean, that he doesn't really have a name, but he's like that's his called name, I guess. He's fucking fantastic. One of the best horror movie killers. I thought Ghostface was one of my favorite horror movie killers. Billy gives him a run for his money. And I don't mean that just because of how he kills. I mean because of the fucking phone calls. Holy shit.
There's a reason why this movie's iconic.
If you thought Ghostface was annoying with his phone calls,
this takes it to a whole new level.
this was legitimately, I think it was like 2 in the morning when I had to turn my fan on, guys. It's fucking hot in here. I was legitimately watching this movie at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was legit like sinking into my bed watching this movie. I was like, oh my god, like this is fucking creepy as fuck. You know, like I don't know how I want to see like a behind the scenes thing of how they did that, because that is incredible. You know, that's fucking fantastic. The acting is all good across the board. You have the main one, the only one that I recognized was the one who is the cop. He played Nancy's father in Nightmare on Elm Street. That was the only one that I recognized. He's great in this. But all the acting in general was good. The characters across the board are good. Even the one that people consider the worst, the annoying alcoholic woman, I found her hilarious. She's fucking disgusting because she fucking literally put an alcohol bottle in a fucking toilet tank and drank it. Ugh, that's nasty. But
I mean, these are sorority drunk girls. I mean, what do you expect?
no, I'm talking about the old woman that was in their house.
Yeah,
for
I know.
whatever reason.
Oh shit. Oh. I thought it was some other chick in that.
But
sorority
you know,
house.
she was funny. I mean I didn't die of laughter, but I chuckled. I was like, some of the things she did, like I like when she drinks the alcohol from the book. That was pretty funny. What else? The pacing of this movie also is fucking fantastic. It starts off slow, very slow, but you know, and I was concerned. I was like, where is this going? This is a little bit slow for me. Like they show the pad kill, and then nothing really happens after that. Well, not nothing really happens, but it takes a much slower. But like I thought people were gonna start dying immediately, but no, it doesn't take that pace. It takes its time, which is an amazing route because it really lets you dive into the story that you're being shown. And first of all, let's talk about that first kill. The bag kill is like, can you imagine that? You're just in your closet and out of nowhere a plastic bag jumps out at you and fucking strangles you and murders you. Fucking.
Yeah, that would be pretty.
Oh, excuse me. You know, and also the way they just show her body all the time. It's fucking terrifying, bro. The thing that kills me is when the cat starts licking her body. I was like, oh Jesus Christ, that poor cat. But when the carnage starts happening, okay, I want to touch on something real quick. This is my only gripe with the movie. So they show that a little girl, well, they don't show it. They say that a little girl dies in the park. They never show her body. I never understood why, like I get it, they were freaking out that a little girl died, but they were trying to like connect it to the killer, and I never understood what the connection was. Did you get that?
Oh, when I first watched it, yeah, I had no idea. But in the '06 remake, one of the very first scenes is what was it? During Christmas Day, after again, the killer in the '06 is basically just done like a huge story makeover. Like I had to re-look up on Wikipedia because I didn't remember the specific things, but it was just like Billy, born with severe jaundice. I can't read shit. Apparently some rape shit happens, and then Christmas Day, an 8-year-old dies by Billy, and he's sent to a mental hospital. That's the closest thing I can think of.
I don't know.
But that was the '06 remake.
The only reason I don't understand it is because they put an emphasis on the fact that Billy's in the house the whole movie. From the very first shot, you see Billy is in the house. So they never really explained what that death meant. Like I never understood that. The fuck? That was the only thing I never really understood. Other than that, this movie's pretty self-explanatory. I love the
little girl scene was
the mystery. The one thing I would have wanted was, I wish that they didn't show the little girl. Oh, not little girl. The girl who gets the plastic kill. I wish they never showed her die. The reason I say this is because, don't you think it would have been a little bit more interesting if we had never seen her die, right? And we're still wondering, like, did she really go missing, or did she go, like, what happened? Like, did she just go home? Like, what happened? And then in the third act, somehow her body just pops up, and she's dead. Don't get me wrong, I love the plastic kill, but I think it would have been better for the story if she was just missing the whole movie. That's what I think.
I do agree with it a little bit, but again, the plastic kill's iconic, so I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I digress.
let's talk about the ending. The ending to this movie. Holy shit, bro. We get the iconic line, which again, I wish that they never showed Billy go into the house, because the line from him when he goes, the calls are coming from the house, the calls are coming from inside the house, would have meant so much more if we didn't know that already. Granted, she doesn't know that already, but I wish that they would have done that, so that way we could have been like, oh, because then we could have maybe thought, oh, maybe it's one of the sisters doing it, or even though most of them are dead by this point, we could have thought, oh, one of them is, you know, somehow maybe one of them is doing it, or maybe we could have thought Peter is doing it, which we already thought Peter was doing it. You know, I wish that they, you know, just a couple little story tweaks could have made it so much better. But yeah, the ending to this movie when she finally finds out, oh, the killer's in the house, and she goes upstairs and she sees the two bodies, and we get the most iconic shot in the whole movie when Billy's eye is shown. Oh my god. I think this is one of the only horror movies that doesn't show its killer, if I'm correct. Which, again, I have no issue, because there's an old saying, less is more. This movie clearly shows that less is 100% more.
Imagination of people sometimes, like, the imagination just carries it for the, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
you know,
you can think of this killer being like so much more menacing, and you don't even know what it looks like, and that's the scary part. If it's pulled off well, like in Black Christmas, it's fucking amazing.
It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, like what you said.
You know, and this is one of my, again, this goes back to what I said. This is one of my favorite horror movie villains, and I don't even know what he looks like. It's fucking incredible.
The 06 remake, he gets a lot of screen time, so you're probably not gonna like it.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, that's pretty much everything on the original. Evan, do you want to add anything?
It's a fucking classic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Yes, please. Don't be like me, who waited all his life to not see it.
I pestered the shit out of Tyler just to watch it.
Yes, yes, yes. So that's it for the original. I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10 only because of my mini, easy little gripes, but, you know, we can't have everything the way we want. Now, Evan, if you will, take over and talk about the 06 remake. And compare it to the original.
It's pretty similar. The story plot is pretty similar. It's still a sorority house. I mean, that's across all three movies, but it's basically I cannot speak today. It's basically Black Christmas, but the killer gets a lot more screen time, and his backstory is a lot more known. Like I said, like the approach on how they take it is pretty similar to Halloween, to the backstory of Michael Myers. Like this, it's not actually very similar. Like Michael Myers, innocent child, got raped and then killed his sister. This case, poor Billy was an abusive. His mom was very abusive.
Oh, by the way, I know kind of what happens. So why didn't you tell us what happened to Billy when he was a little boy? What his mother decided to do to him?
Basically beat the shit out of him, and there was a part where he was, I think, was raped a little bit. Yeah.
So they introduce a sister in this, and
which is the product of Billy being raped by yeah.
It's
and then,
so, oh my god.
On very Christmas Day, Billy gets out of the attic. I nearly said closet. It's the attic, and basically kills. I think her name was Agnes. She was 8 years old, and then killed his mother and her fiance. And when the police find out and go to the house, Billy is seen eating a cookie out of his mom's flesh. You thought that shit in Resident Evil 3 was disgusting. This is a lot worse, buddy.
Oh my god.
This is a lot worse. Which is why I didn't have the same reaction to Tyler. And yeah, he got it. It was in a mental hospital, and then several years, probably like 30 years passed. He escaped from the mental hospital around Christmas. Yes, I think Black Christmas, and then similar events like in Black Christmas happen. Like it's not like completely unknown. He's still in the attic, and I don't remember there's any phone calls. There probably was a few phone calls, but like, yeah, the line was in there a couple of times, and then yeah, it's just more like a rated R, like an unrated Black Christmas that has like a lot more story in the background of the killer.
I'll tell you this much: the filmmakers liked eyeballs a lot. If you've seen the movie, you know what we're talking about.
The specific way Billy kills Agnes is eye gouging her.
Up here, hurry!
So, yeah.
Honestly, I haven't heard good things about the Black Christmas remake. Nintendo I haven't really likes it.
Oh no, no. I don't like it.
But you said you liked it. No,
I didn't
the
say
06
I
one, not the.
I liked it. Yeah, I mean the 06. I'm not really a huge fan of. I'm okay with backstory with the killer. This is not it, Chief. Not because of the gory scenes. I'm all for it. But this just no. There's too many parallels to Halloween. I just don't like it.
I don't like that they gave Billy a backstory. I don't like that they gave him a sister of all fucking things. I don't like the backstory.
Especially the fact when he was raped.
It's almost as bad. It's almost as bad as the 2007 Halloween remake. Bad.
Oh. We'll get on to that soon. Oh, I want to rip into that movie so badly.
So now that we got the 06 remake out the way.
Well done.
Yeah, it's
It's
okay. If you want to watch it, go ahead, be my guest, but you're probably not going to like it.
I'm spending minimal time on this fucking movie because we've already made a video on it, and I really don't want to talk about this movie again.
I don't want to either.
Long story short, the 2019 remake is one of the worst movies ever made. It's horrendous. It butchers the Black Christmas aura.
It basically takes the story and just be like, nope, we're doing a different story, but sorority house, and one bobblehead from the original. That's it.
There's certain things that they do. Right? You can see how they wanted to pay homage to the remake, to the original.
So it was John D.
But it's just a sad attempt. And honestly, they did the wrong things. What I mean
is,
in
a lot of wrong things with
the original, well, yeah, but in the original, they have the cop, right? They have the cop that doesn't take them seriously, but he gets reprimanded by the cop who is like the head cop or whatever. And in this movie, they treat it as, oh, the cop is being sexist because I'm a woman.
What the hell has this got to do with Drake?
I'm getting to that.
As soon as you bring feminism into a horror movie, you're kind of just done for.
Yeah, that's the big issue number one.
That's not me being like against feminism. I'm not like that.
Too far?
But like,
With you, I
if
never
you're
had
gonna
that
do
big
something like
mile
that,
and
do it
20.
right.
That time you got us lost in Peru?
Which there's not a lot of ways to
really
do
wanna
it right.
bring
The
up
filmmaker.
That's just facts.
Personally,
I'm not sexist.
I was
Just get that clear.
No, we're not. But you know,
that I'd be in prison within a year.
it was this thing with this movie was like,
On your own, if you
oh, men shouldn't watch this movie because it's not for them. Why would you just exclude an entire gender from watching a movie? Do you see men telling females to not watch Avengers Endgame because it's a comic book movie? Like, realistically, why would you exclude an entire gender from watching you know, a horror movie. You
Okay,
know,
wait. I actually never heard that they excluded the gender from watching it.
it's not that they excluded it. It's just that because you know that the movie's a feminist movie or whatever, and the director was open about it. You know, and there's people who, I mean,
just put that in.
people with a 5 IQ that defend this movie, saying it's a good movie. You know, and they say, oh, if you don't like it, it's either you're a man or you just don't like it. First of all, excuse me for knowing a fucking good movie when I fucking see it. You fucking clowns. Okay? You're not gonna
Go watch
sit
the
here.
original, then rewatch the 2018
You're not gonna
remake,
sit. And
then
you know
talk to
what?
me.
You know what the funny thing is? The original basically does the same thing this movie does, only without the cult. And I actually appreciate the characters in that movie. I like every single character in that movie, and they're all female except for the cop and the boyfriend. So don't sit here
What, the
and tell me
2018
that.
remake?
No, the original, 1974.
Oh, the original.
Don't sit
I thought you
here.
were going on the Black Christmas, like 2018 remake. I was like, okay, Chief, slow down. What are
No.
you talking about here?
Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Every single character in that movie is a female, and I appreciate every single one of them. I really like the main character in that one a lot. So don't sit here and tell me after I've significantly defended multiple female characters on this podcast. Don't sit here and tell me, oh, I'm a feminist. Oh, I'm an anti-feminist. Oh, I don't like the movie because I'm a man. Because number one, I'll retaliate. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You want to sit here? You know what? I'll openly say it. I fucking hate Captain Marvel. Light up the comment section. Please. Please. Please light up the comment section. The characters in the Black Christmas remake are fucking atrocious. Every single one of them. Every single line of dialogue out of their mouths, it has to do with men.
This way.
And more likely, it's I hate men. Or men do this.
It's
Men
just
do...
like, it's low-key kind of like a Tourette's thing. It's just like, everyone says, oh, I hate men.
It's literally like they, what was I gonna say? It's literally, there's literally a scene where, okay, so now I need to explain what happens. So, the girls basically embarrass these frat people because the main character got raped. And, the guy is being a prick about it, so they embarrass him at a show or whatever. So they start getting texts or whatever. Yeah, they changed it to text. Yeah, real modern there, Universal. Real modern. They changed it to text instead of phone calls. And they're like, oh, why are they think that it's the frat. Which,
what are you waiting for?
I guess it technically was.
Yeah, that's
You're not that far off.
But they didn't think it was a cult. They thought it was just a
Sully, your
frat.
first car.
No, they thought it was just a frat.
Hold on.
I was hoping they stuck with that, because the cult is completely unnecessary.
We'll get to that. But they think it's the frat. And they're like, oh, why are they doing this to us? Oh. And the one person with any brain cell says, oh, well, what did you expect? And they go, what? They're like, and the guy goes, oh, what did you expect? You embarrassed them, and they're getting revenge at you. If they had done the same thing to you, you would have been pissed and wanted to get back at them. And then
That's
they go,
what she did.
and then the main character goes, oh, men, we're doing this because we can't let men have all the power. And then he goes, oh, well, not all men have power. And then she goes, did you just not all men me? And they all just start shouting at him.
Godfrey brought any secrets
It, oh my.
That's where we're gonna find
It made me cringe, like, really
And then
hard.
they throw him out of the house, and then he gets killed 2 seconds later. The one person that had any brain cells gets killed. Yeah, good job, Universal.
Good, yeah.
None of the characters are likable because you make it that everybody hates men. When you have a gender being targeted, let's do this. Let's do this.
Getting in this way.
Let's say somebody made a movie that made fun of black people, right?
I bet I
Said,
can climb up through that
oh,
hole.
now of course I'm not being racist. I'm just saying this is just the prime example, or any race. I'll make it general. Let's say they made a movie that made fun of any race, black, white, Asian, whatever. If you are that race watching the movie, how are you gonna like any character? Every person that makes fun of you. Now, granted, it's not like Jojo Rabbit or The Hunt, which, by the way, was fucking great, by the way. It's not like The Hunt. I'm going to use The Hunt more than Jojo Rabbit because The Hunt basically makes fun of all races. But it does it in a way that's funny. This movie doesn't play it for comedy. This movie takes it as if it's actually serious. You know, if you had done it for comedy, which I don't even know how you would do it for comedy, but if you had done it for comedy, then maybe it could have worked. Or make fun of the fact that there's so much feminism. That's, in a way, that would work. To me, that works.
Yeah, that would have worked.
But as it stands, it just doesn't work. I'm sorry. You can't make a movie with such a forced message and shove it in somebody's face and say, here, like this, like this, like that. You can't do that. I'm sorry. This is me being genuine. You can't do that. I wanted to like this movie. Why would I want to hate a movie? I never want to hate a movie unless it's like a trash horror movie. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I didn't.
I didn't think so either.
First of all, stop giving Jason Blum classic horror franchises. This is now 2 horror movie franchises that he's ruined. Halloween was the
I thought
first.
there was another one.
No.
So he did another franchise and he completely screwed it up.
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, that hurts.
I think he's gonna do Scream. I don't know, but that's it.
All right,
Oh,
back
God
up.
forbid
Shoot
he
the
does
lock
Scream.
off.
Listen, Universal, if you're listening to
I
this,
said lock.
for the love of mankind, do not give him Scream. I beg you. I'm on my hands and knees. Pause. I beg of you. Please. Listen. Please don't do it. Please. Scream is one of our favorite horror movies of all time. Please. Wes Craven will probably turn in his grave if you do that. Rest in peace. Please. But yeah, he already ruined Halloween, which, don't at me, it's fucking terrible. Halloween was terrible. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It was terrible. Was it as bad as Resurrection? No. Was it as bad as the remake? No. Was it as bad as Halloween 5? No. Was it a good movie? No! But yeah, but Jason Blum is terrible. Jason Blum is this man. I'm convinced The Invisible Man was only good because of Lee Winnell. That is the only reason I'm convinced that movie had any sense of quality to it.
We're gonna make our way through the chateau to the gardens. That's where we'll find the old.
So let's compare. I'm just gonna compare the original to the remake because I haven't seen the other one. So the kills in the 2019 remake are atrocious. The kills in the original aren't that great, but they're better than the ones. At least it doesn't rip off Exorcist 3.
It's in the way.
Yeah, we gotta get some leverage.
Think you can get up
I
there?
completely forgot about that, to be honest.
The acting in the original is obviously better. I mean,
It's like 5 billion times better.
oh yeah. And when you got oh my god, I forgot her name.
Hey.
Nancy. When you got Nancy Thompson's dad in a horror movie, come on now. That's the man
You
who
can't
took
screw
down.
it up.
That's the man who took down Freddy Krueger, baby.
Yes,
Which
sir.
we'll be talking
Do it.
about soon, by the way. Looking forward to that one as well. The atmosphere is fucking great as well. The plot is great in the original, not the remake. The remake is worse. The story also, it's worse. It makes no fucking
Careful up
sense.
there.
They added some fucking cult in the remake, which I don't know why. There's a saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why? Granted, Granted,
Hey, there's some
I
kind of
give them
mechanism over there.
credit, and I don't even want to fucking give them credit, but I give them credit for going in a different direction. Because the main complaint about remakes is, oh, well, that's the same thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm perfectly fine with them going in a different direction. The problem is, the direction is the equivalent to what I left in my toilet this morning.
I gotta find a way across.
But again, the different direction they took, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. It's terrible. The characters are, I might have mentioned this already, but the characters are better than the original. The killer is better. Well, I guess killer is better than killers, because there's killers in the remake.
Not to mention they're very bland.
Well, yeah, because the characters aren't fucking memorable anyway. In the remake.
I remember a single character besides that one guy that was basically a simp for the other girls.
Yeah, I remember him, and I remember the main. I remember the main girl because she got raped, and then I remember the one girl that was so fucking annoying with the feminism, and then I remember when she pulled, like an Avengers Endgame fight scene out of her ass. Which, by the way, this movie completely ripped off Endgame with its ending. I don't give a shit. I hated the scene in Endgame, and I still fucking hate it now. And it was even worse in Black Christmas because of the fact that it was just so fucking laughable that they actually went there. But, what else? The ending, also, in the original is leaps and bounds better than the one in the remake. The one in the remake is just... It's one of those endings where it's like, oh my god, thank god it's over. And that's pretty much all I need to talk about the Black Christmas remake. So, obviously, this video isn't like the other one, where the remake won. And this one, the original, obviously wins. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be like that for 90% of these videos moving forward. Still haven't seen the remake of The Fog yet, which I'm on the edge of my seat for.
Same here.
But that's gonna do it. I hope you guys are enjoying this series, because I sure as hell am. You know, this is what we love talking about. We love talking about horror movies, and even if it's shit, you know, still have fun with it. We don't know what movie we're gonna do next. More than likely, it's gonna be Halloween or Friday the oh no, not Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street. But you'll find out sooner rather than later. I would say tomorrow. Maybe. It depends on Kevin. It's not on me. Depending on if he watches the movie or not, me and Kevin are going to bring you our review of Terminator 3. So look forward to that, hopefully, if he can watch it. And yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. The likes really help. You know, it gets our videos recommended, and it's going to bring our videos to a wider audience. And stay safe. You know, 6 feet, 20 seconds, washing your hands, you know. And yeah, take it easy.